Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshughuvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Everybody? Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for the Sunday feast lecture. I'm a little late to come here. It starts at 5 o'clock, I believe, right? We were with the students, it got a little late, I'm sorry. You know what is the title, topic I gave for the Sunday feast today? It is Little One, Little Done, Lord One. Little Done, Lord One. We will see how. You see, in the Srimad Bhagavatam there are two examples to illustrate how does a devotee feel when one comes to the path of Krishna consciousness. Just like the birds which fly in the sky all day, when they return in the evening to their nest, how comfortable they feel being in their own nest. That is one example given. Another example is Dhauta Atma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati Jakta Sarva Parikleshair Panta Swasharanam Yata. He says here, a weary traveler traveling all across the globe, when he returns back to his home and takes a bath, takes a shower and then eats lunch with the family members and relaxing in an easy chair in his own house, how he feels. Like that the soul feels when the soul returns to Krishna consciousness. Pantasva sharanam yata. So, all of you have come to the Radha Madhava temple, Sri Sri Radha Madhava. So Radha Madhava's shade of Radha Madhava's feet is so powerful shelter it is. You can experience the greatest peace and happiness in your life by coming closer and closer to the Lord's lotus feet. What is the meaning of that? The more we hear message from the Lord and His devotees, and the more we align with Him, with His plans, our lives would become more harmonized, more organized, more peaceful and happy. Just like one girl asked Prabhupada in America, in this world we find, lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, all these bad qualities. You say everything originates from the Lord, you are saying. Do these bad qualities also come from the Lord? She asked. So Prabhupada said, when you look at the sun, there is no shadow. When you look away from the sun, you see shadow. Similarly, in Krishna, there is no flaw. He is faultless, nirdosh. But when you turn away from Krishna, then all the problem starts. Then you see the shadow. Janasya Krishnat vimukasya daivat adharmashilasya sudukkitasya anugrahayeka charanti nunam bhutani bhavyani janardanasya. It's a very beautiful verse. It says, Janasya Krishnat vimukasya. When one turns away from Krishna, he becomes adharmashilasya. Adharmashil means irreligious. And the result of becoming irreligious is sudukkitasya. One becomes miserable. So how can a jiva who is sudukkitasya can become susukkitasya? Anybody can say? How can a suffering jiva become a happy jiva according to this verse? Turn towards Krishna. Who said that? Upstairs? Give him an applause. Correct answer. Thank you. To turn towards Krishna. When you face Krishna, it's like facing the sun. Then you don't see any darkness. So, Krishna is an ocean of good qualities. The word samam bonam means sum total of all good qualities. Because of that nature of the Lord, just like if you make a doll of sugar, anywhere you pinch and put in your mouth, it will be sweet. Similarly, there is a famous song by Vallabhacharya on Krishna. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram kamanam hridayam madhuram kamanam madhuram. It goes on like this. And that song finally says, Madhuradipate rakilam madhuram venur madhura venur madhura panir madhura padam madhura nrityam madhuram sakhyam madhuram madhuradipate akilam madhuram. He's saying his playing of the flute is sweet, so sweet and charming that not only gopis are attracted, even the gopas are attracted. Naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha, it is said. Not only naris, naryo, nara also. Men are also attracted. Not only men and women, even the cows, calves, deers, peacocks, monkeys, birds, yamuna, trees, all of them are attracted. Venur Madhura. And Renur Madhura, the dust of his feet is so powerful that by dancing on the hoods of a 1,000-hooded snake, Kaliya, Krishna made the snake humble. And he gave up his vicious mentality. Became a humble jiva. Similarly, the dust of his feet, like touching a stone, turned into Ahilya. That is Renur Madhura. Panir Madhura, his hand is also giving Abhaya Pradhan. In the Kanchipuram, you will find Ma Shucha written in the hand. Do not fear. Do not fear. I am here. Like the Krishna is giving assurance. Ma Shucha. Also, he gives benediction with his hands. He's called Varadharashava or Varadaraj. So, when he touched the head of Prahalad, Sapadamulam patitam tamarbakam vilokya deva kripalaya pariplutaha uttapyata chirshni adadat karambujam kalarga vitrasta diyam krita bayam. This verse says, when Lord Narasimha saw a small baby, 5-year-old boy, falling at his feet and touching his feet, Lord Narasimha was sitting like this. As soon as he saw someone touching his feet, immediately he came forward and saw, hey, who is that? Oh, a tender child. he felt pity for the child. Immediately he picked him up, Uttapya. Uttapya tat shirshni adada karambujam. He kept his lotus-like palms on that boy's head. At that time, all the possible impurities that might have been in Prahlad's body due to the birth from Hiranyakashipu, all that became washed away. And he became fully enlightened about the absolute truth and everything. Similarly, Lord didn't even touch Dhruva's head. He only kept a shank on his head. The next moment, Dhruva became spiritually electrified. Yonta pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatta kila shaktidhara swadhamna anyasta hasta charana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayime prasango bhuyadanantamahatam amalashayanam yenanta solbanamaru vyasanam bhavadhim neshye bhavadgunakatam ritapanamattah. Although he was a 5-year-old boy, he never had Aksharabhyas also. Nobody taught him even A, E, E also. He was in the forest. He wanted to sing poetry, but his tongue touched the pellet. He could not sing anything, although he wanted to say something. So Lord touched his head with a shank, conch. Immediately he started singing streams of poetry, the one which I told you now. He says, my dear Lord, by dint of your transcendental touch, my whole body has become spiritualized. And my head, my face, my hands, my legs, especially my tongue has become spiritually enlivened. So I am able to praise you with choice poetry. Like that he glorified Lord Vishnu. And then he said, now that you have given me a benediction, you will turn away, go back home to your Vaikuntha, but give me the association of your devotees. Because in that association I can constantly remember you, delight in your pastimes. Like that he offered prayers. So, in this way, you will see the Lord is all good. When cowherd boys had died because of Kaliya's poisonous effect, they were all dead, lying on the bank of Yamuna. When Krishna appeared there, he glanced at them, and next moment they all returned back to life. So his eyes have a effect of an Amrit Varsha. Amrit flows from his eyes. When he glances at somebody, he just comes to life immediately. So, such is the nature of the powerful Lord who is all good. So that all good Supreme Personality of Godhead, when one becomes his devotee and attains his shelter, I told you how they feel. They feel like like you are experiencing the cold wind blowing outside. And anybody comes out of their car, they run into their homes. Isn't it? We don't want that cold wind to enter your ears. Similarly, when anybody is scorched by the material existence, they feel that shelter in Lord's lotus feet. But to attain that lotus feet of the Lord, it is not very difficult. That is why I took this topic. Little done, Lord won. So here is a shloka put up in the top you are seeing. It's from 3rd canto, 15th chapter, 21st verse. Shri Rupini Gwanayati Charanarvindam Leelambujena Harisadmani Mukta Dosha Samlakshate Svatika Kudya Upeta Hemni Sammardati Yadanugrahanen Yayatnaha. So, this is a verse about goddess of fortune Lakshmi. In the Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, he says, Shri means Lakshmi, Rupini means beautiful, beautiful Lakshmi, Panayati, she plays, she walks on the, like that her Nupur is making sound. In the Prabhupada's translation, and Prabhupada has given that the goddesses of fortune, either he has given. So, when they walk, or when Lakshmi walks in the spiritual world, she is wearing a costly saree, wearing jewelry like necklace and earrings and mukut, and she has 4 arms. She is carrying the lotus and everything in the hand. She is twirling a lotus, and we can't say that she is wearing a costly saree because she is the source of all riches. All the Ashtalakshmi comes from her, isn't it? Like Dhana Lakshmi, Veera Lakshmi, Santan Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi. Vijay Lakshmi, they all come from her, Ashtalakshmis. She's a source of all wealth. So, what she is doing in the spiritual world, she has one hand twirling a lotus, and she's walking. While walking, the nupur is making sound, the ankle bell. In the other hand, she is holding a broomstick. That may be very strange, because in India, many such rich ladies will have a dozen servant maids in their homes, isn't it? To somebody to wash the clothes, somebody to wash the vessels, somebody to take the child to school, somebody to do different type of things. A rich lady may not want to sweep the floor herself, but here she is sweeping the Vaikuntha floor herself. And it is said that all the devatas are folded palms, they are praying to her, "Oh, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, kindly turn behind and put your glance on us for a moment. If you do that, we will become leader of one planet." So just by your one glance. But she is not interested in looking at those who are at her feet. But she herself wants to serve Lord Narayana by sweeping the floor of Vaikuntha, which is looking like a mirror. There is no dust there. Still she is sweeping, just to see a smile on the face of Lord Narayana. It is said. So here is the example of Lakshmi, how she is rendering this little service of sweeping to attract Narayana. So the Lord's heart is so great that even if one renders a small service, the Lord is greatly pleased. The Lord sees the effort, He doesn't see the result. Like you all know how when all the Vanaras, monkeys, were putting big boulders in the Setubandha pastime, one small squirrel was trying to pick up some, little stone in her hand and try to put, thinking that everybody is taking part in Lord's service, I also should take part. But Hanuman and other wanderers saw the little squirrel and said, "Hey, get off our way. You are wasting your time and you may get crushed between the big boulders. Go away. We are doing a very serious project. What can you do, you little one? Get away out of our way," they were saying. But Lord Ram picked up the squirrel in his hand and with his 3 fingers he marked his back. So in India you will see all the squirrels have the 3 lines because they may be coming from the same vamsh of that. So Lord Rama made that squirrel internationally popular now. Everybody talks about that squirrel. Otherwise, any ordinary squirrel, do you think anybody is going to talk about it? Lord Rama made it popular. And think about it for a moment. Did the squirrel do any big job? It's just a small stone he put. And that small stone was fitting between 2 big rocks, that's all. When the big boulders are put by monkeys, isn't it? So, Jai Shri Radha Madhav ki. But Lord Ram told Hanuman, as much as I appreciate you, I equally appreciate this squirrel. Because you are working according to your capacity and this small squirrel is working according to his capacity. He is putting his best capacity. Although the work may be a small work, it's little done, but Lord's heart was one. You will see that. Similarly, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita you will read, when Prataparudra, king of Odisha, he came in front of the Rath cart. He was also sweeping in front of the chariot. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also in the front. He observed it. He thought to himself, "Oh, this king has no prestige. He doesn't see about status or prestige or what will others think about him. He is completely free from any kind of prejudice. He is ready to render this service, tuchya seva. It's insignificant service of sweeping like the work of a scavenger. This king is ready to do. Because the king wants to declare to the world that I am not the master. Lord Jagannath is not only Orissanath or Bharatnath, he is Jagannath, king of the whole world. That's what the king wanted to declare. Although he was king of Odisha, he gave up his kingship to become a mere servant of Jagannath that day in a sweeping. So that really touched the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. when he observed that. Therefore, later on he showered mercy on him. So his father, Purushottam Dev, he was also a great devotee. So his father, Purushottam Dev, one time, when he was not yet married at that time, he was a king of Odisha. So one day it so happened that the king of Kanchi waged a war against the king of Odisha. Purushottam Dev was the then king at that time. So in that war, the king of Odisha, Purushottam Dev, won the battle. And the king of Kanchi was defeated. But then there was an agreement between the two. So in the Kanchi, there is a Ganesh deity which was taken from Kanchi and brought to Jagannath temple and put behind Jagannath. You will see that even today. So, but the king of Kanchi wanted to make an understanding with king of Odisha that I will give my daughter in marriage to you and let us become sambandhis. Let us not quarrel. And the king agreed also. And the king said, very soon Rath Yatra is coming. I am a little busy in organizing it. Let that get over. Then let's have the marriage. He agreed. And Purushottam Devi invited the king of Kanchi, why don't you come and participate in Rath Yatra? It's very special. Every year it's a very huge festival. So king of Kanchi agreed, I'll try to come. In the event of my inability to come, I will arrange someone to go and participate in the festival. So the king happened to be super busy, king of Kanchi. So he sent his minister, but he sent his minister along with his daughter also, because that was the daughter who was supposed to marry Purushottam Dev. So the minister was an elderly man. So he and king's daughter, they both came. And on the day of the Rath Yatra festival, Purushottam Dev came forward and he started sweeping the floor in front of Jagannath. Observing this, the king Kanchi's minister was shell-shocked. He thought, what is this? A king is doing the work of a scavenger. We don't know in whose house he goes and does this scavenger work. He was thinking like that. He was telling the daughter that, how can you be given in marriage to this fellow? Come, let's go back. He went back to Kanchipuram and told the king, oh, you can't give your daughter in marriage to him. See, this is what he was doing. And when the king heard, he said, really? Then let's call off the marriage, he said. So when the news reached Purushottam Dev was very unhappy. Not unhappy that he was offended. He was unhappy that they have sort of humiliated Jagannath. Jagannath is Lord of the whole universe. Everybody is his servant. Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasabhavritya. Everybody is his servant. How can king of Kanchi not understand Jagannath's position? I am going to again wage a war against him. So he again waged a war. And surprisingly, in this war he was defeated by the king. Then he returned back and then he called his ministers, called the Brahmins and called the devotees and said, how are we defeated this time in the battle? One devotee in the frontiers of the Jagannath village, he asked, you see, did you pray to Jagannath before going for the war? He said, I didn't pray. He said, that's a problem. Whenever you start any work, you should first pray to the Lord. So now he prayed to Jagannath fervently, again waged a war. But this time, both Jagannath and Baladev, they boarded a horse. They both took part in the war, and again the Kanchipuram king was defeated completely. And Purushottam Dev told that, his daughter was to be given to me in marriage, but I will not marry her. Let us get his daughter married to a scavenger, he said. Then you will understand, he said. But the minister of King Purushottam Dev was very intelligent. He said, King, don't worry. She will be married to a scavenger. We will give her that punishment. Don't worry. We will do that. But then the day of Rath Yatra came, and the minister very intelligently brought that girl to him and said, you said we have to give her to a scavenger. You are sleeping now, so you marry her. And then she was married to him, as it was planned earlier. So in this way, king of Kanchi sought forgiveness, and then everything became all right after that. But the point is, King Prataparudra's father, Purushottam Dev, was also a pure devotee. So he was also a very advanced devotee. He was sleeping. So, even that little service, it's not a very big deal. But when we do it by putting the heart with sincerity, the Lord is touched. There are many pastimes like this. You see, Sudama Brahman, he was having tattered clothes. His bones were visible in the body. So, one day his wife was insisting that you should go and meet your friend Krishna. He is the king of Dwaraka. If he just gives you one palm full of diamond, that will be enough for your whole life. You can run your whole life. But he said, I don't want to ask anything from Krishna. He is my friend. I don't see him anything more than a friend. And I am ashamed to go and ask him for anything. I can't go. So, but she insisted, okay, don't ask anything. If you simply go and stand in front of him, he will do the needful. But he was still very hesitant. But later on he thought, Smarataha pada kamalam atmanam apiyachati. She says, you see, Lord Krishna is so benevolent. If somebody remembers his lotus feet, he gives himself to the devotee. Like Draupadi just remembered him when she was in Hastinapur and called him, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopi Janvalapa, Hey Dwarakavasin. Next moment Krishna supplied unlimited sari to her. He gives himself to his devotees. So he also thought, it's a good idea because wife wants me to go. And if I go, I will get a chance to meet my old friend. I will have a very nice time. He was remembering the Gurukula days. For her satisfaction, I will go. But for my satisfaction, I will just meet my friend and come back. That was his idea. But here comes the important point. When he was going, he told his wife, how can I go with empty hands? I should carry something. So when I read that, I was like amazed. He is wearing tattered clothes and torn clothes and a skinny body visible with bones. But he is thinking, what can I give to Krishna? He is not thinking, what can I get from Krishna? Most people in the world are in giving mood or grabbing mood or in giving mood. In grabbing mood, isn't it? See, once upon a time, one man fell into a river and was drowning. Save me, he was shouting. So immediately two men boarded a boat and they reached that man. And he said, hey, come on, give your hand, we will take you to the boat. And that man was not giving hand, even after repeatedly telling. Then out of the two men, the second man who was there, he said, see, this fellow has no habit of giving anything. So maybe you can tell him, grab my hand. As soon as he said, grab my hand, immediately grabbed. And he brought it in. So some people who know only one thing. What is it? Grabbing, that's all. But Sudama was always having habit of giving. See, Vedic culture teaches about giving. Like I had gone to this Radha Govind temple in Jaipur, So early morning, 5 o'clock, there were 3,000 people in the Kartik month. So we went around, 3 pradakshinas we did. Oh, such a heavy crowd. But when I was going, somebody was giving, this rock candy. Somebody was giving laddu. One fellow was distributing Mysore pak. One fellow was distributing groundnuts. Everybody was giving some prasadam. So we went 3 rounds and my breakfast was over. So, because it filled up the belly so much they gave. 2 hands full. So you will see our Vedic temples, when you go, everybody is in a serving mood, in a giving mood. So Sudama Brahman, he told his wife, cook something, some chipped rice. It's not a very big thing. Chipped rice is considered, in America they call it as cheap noodles, correct? No? Students, when they can't afford to buy, they eat some cheap noodles. Like that in India, the cheapest thing you get is which one? Chipped rice. That's what he could afford. But when he took that and went to Dwaraka, and he saw the huge palace of Krishna, Rukmini's palace, he stood in front of the gate, and he told the gate guarding people that, they asked him, what do you want, you poor man? If he said, I want wealth, they were themselves capable of giving him wealth. They would have given him a palm full of wealth and they would have turned him away. He said, I have not come for anything. I have just come to meet my friend Krishna. Just to meet him and go back. And then they went and informed Krishna, and Krishna came running to the gate doors, embraced him, showered him with tears. He was talking for an hour. And he asked Rukmini, do you know who this is? Rukmini said, my dear Lord, you speak about him every day. And then, but why are you talking at the gate for so long? Please bring him in, make him comfortable. Then King and Krishna said, I forgot totally. I got lost in my friendship with my friend. So he brought him in, washed his feet, put him to sleep, massaged his feet. Later on he was talking about the Gurukul days. And Sudama felt so satisfied. On his way back in the forest, he was thinking, why did Krishna give me not a single penny? Maybe if he gave me wealth, I might have misused it. Therefore he didn't give me. I think it's for my good only he didn't give me. But when I go home, what will I tell my wife and children? Maybe I can tell them how loving Krishna is, how kind he was with me. So like this he was thinking and going back, and you all know rest is history, what happened, When he went home, he saw a huge palace and his wife was nicely dressed. See, Krishna gave him abundant benefits secretly. Krishna is a secret well-wisher. Secretly, without even telling him that I am giving you this much. Why? Just like the farmers, when they are sleeping at night, the rain showers and fills all the fields with water, and in this way the fields grow very nicely. So that example Chakravarti Thakur gives to say that Krishna silently serves the devotee because Krishna doesn't want to tell devotee, I have done a great favor for you. Because Krishna thinks the affection which devotees give me is a million times more greater than the small service I do for them. Like that Krishna feels. So, Sudama didn't ask anything, but he got abundantly. Similarly, look at the fruit vendor lady. Krini hibo falani iti shutva satparamachyutam falarti dhanyamadaya yayo sarva falapradaha. This is a famous verse in the 10th canto. So this verse says, one lady in Vrindavan, fruit vendor lady, was carrying fruits in her basket and calling out. When Krishna heard her voice, he could detect that this is the voice of a pure devotee. She was simply pulling the woman. Pulling the woman means mountain lady. They live in mountain areas like tribals. But she was a great devotee of Krishna. When she was passing by, when she called out, Krishna wanted to reciprocate her love with her love. So he went into Yashoda's kitchen and picked up a palm full of rice. And by the time he came running, only 2 grains remained in the hand. So when he showed it to the lady laughed. Although this child is trying to give me something, even if it doesn't give me anything, I want to give him everything. So she took out her fruits and started filling Krishna's hands. Everything she had, all the fruits. She emptied her basket practically. That goes to show she was not calculative in her devotional service. If she was, for the 2 grains that Krishna gave, she would have cut and given a small piece of a fruit, which she didn't do. She wholeheartedly gave, maybe she gave $20 worth fruits, and Krishna filled her basket with 20 million or $20 billion, gold, silver and diamond. And happily he filled up. But there is an extension of this pastime in the Goswami literature. You will find this lady, she picked up the basket and went home. And then when she kept the basket down, she realized it's heavy. And she saw all this gold, silver, and said she cried. Why she cried? She said, oh, Krishna has cheated me by simply giving wealth to me. This is not what I wanted. What I want is his love. So in her hut, she put it in one corner of the hut, and again she filled up the basket with fruits. Second time she went again to Krishna, singing and calling Krishna. Then Krishna asked, just now you gave me fruits, why have you come again? She said, I again brought more for you, please accept. Then Krishna accepted it. And after accepting all of it, Krishna kept it aside and asked her, what can I give you in return? She said, you don't have to do anything, Kana, you just sit on my lap, she said. So that small baby Krishna, Bala Gopal, sat on her lap. And then she told him, please call me once as Maya. And Krishna called, Maya, he called her. Then as soon as he called Maya, who came? Yashoda came. When Yashoda came to the door, Kana, you called me? Then this lady picked up the child and gave it to Yashoda. And Yashoda accepted. And this lady took her empty basket and returned to her hut, dancing and singing very happily. All her friends asked her, hey, you seem to be very happy today, what's the matter? She said, today I got to become mother of Krishna. She said, Krishna called me Maya, she said. So, few devotees want to develop a relationship with Krishna, but they don't want Krishna's pocket. They are not interested in the wealth of Krishna. They are interested in making a relationship with Krishna. Just like Sudama. Sudama went to Dwaraka just to spend time with Krishna. He did not go to seek wealth from Krishna, you can see. Therefore, even though their service is insignificant, small, that service is taken as very big. Krishna told Sudama, Hey Sudama, anu api upaghritam bhaktair premna bhuryeva me bhavet bhuryapi abhakto upaghritam name toshaya kalpate. He is saying, Hey Sudama, anu api upaghritam bhaktair, even if my devotees do a little service, bhuryeva me bhavet, it becomes very big offering for me. Even when a non-devotee offers me chapan bhog also, that name toshaya kalpate, that doesn't satisfy me. And what is the reason for that? You know, when Krishna was coming as a Shanti Doot, Dhritarashtra called for a meeting. In that meeting he said, Hey my son Duryodhana, come here. Lord Keshava is coming. We should give a very grand welcome to him. At the frontiers of Hastinapuram, send beautiful dancing girls, let them throw colors in the sky and sing beautiful songs and do great dances, so that when Keshava arrives at the frontiers, he will be very happy. Give him costly velvet blankets, give him several elephants and horses in charity, give him navaratnas in charity. In this way, offer him the best of fitting welcome. And when he arrives here, arrange accommodation for him in the best of the palaces, which is Dushasana's palace. Let him be accommodated there. Arrange for a chapan bhog. With all these things, Keshava will be mesmerized, and then he will forget the Shanti Prastav, the peace mission for which he comes. So the war will go on and we will wipe out the Pandavas. Like that Dhritarashtra said. Hearing this, Vidura told to Dhritarashtra, my dear king, if you are really thinking of pleasing Krishna, ask him what he wants. Don't try to pamper him like this and, win over him. He is not a little child to be pampered by lollipop. All this tamasha will not work with Krishna. He is all-knowing. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you want to please him, you should ask him what he wants. Hearing this, Duryodhana said, I understand that Krishna cannot be pleased with all this. But he said, I have an alternative plan. When he comes, I will arrange a big cage to fall from the top down and arrest him and send 1,000 soldiers from all directions to besiege him and arrest him. Hearing this, Bhishma became very angry. He said, you sinful wretch, what are you talking? He said, Krishna is the Devadi Dev. Because Bhishma says, Jagat Prabham Deva Devam Anantam Purushottamam Stuvannama Sahasrena Purushas Satatotpitaha Tameva Chachayan Nityam Bhaktya Purusham Avyayam Dhyayan Stuvannamasyam Stejamanas Anadinidaram Vishtum Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Lokadhyaksham Stuvan Nityam Sarva. In this way, Bhishma glorified in Vishnu Sahasranama. So, he told all the pastimes of Krishna, Putanavad, Shakatasur, Bakasur, who all Krishna killed. Now, what are you thinking about Krishna? All the 33 crore devatas bow down to him. Yam Brahma Varunendra Ruddha Marutas Tunvanti Divya Istavai, Bhagavatam says that. So, he said, if you try to arrest Krishna, you will, that very thought of that very act itself will make you terribly sinful. He chastised Duryodhana. And then when Krishna arrived for Shanti Doot, Duryodhana stopped him at the entrance itself, he said, Krishna, now let's go for lunch. I have made chapan bhog lunch for you, let us finish it first. And then let's start the meeting. Krishna said, no, first my mission should be accomplished. Then only I will eat, he said. And Duryodhana said, no, first you should finish the eating. Because you already arranged, the food is ready, everybody is going to take, you also finish first. Then we can have the meeting, he said. Krishna said, you see, whom do you think will eat what you are giving? If somebody is in love with you, they will accept. Or somebody is very hungry, they will take it. Neither am I hungry, nor are you giving with love. You are trying to forcibly ask me to eat. And you are envying my devotees, Pandavas. If you are agreeable for a peace mission, then why will I not eat? But I will only eat after the mission is accomplished, Krishna said. So you will see that, that's why it is said, Duryodhana ke bhog na khayo, rok sak Vidura gar kayo, aise prem pujari Radheshyam, Sham, Sham. Heard this song? So he did not take the chapan bhog given by Duryodhana, but rather, after that peace mission thing was over, of course Satyaki and Kritavarma came with him. Two Yadus were there on either side of him. Satyaki leaned and told Krishna, "O Lord, do you know, we heard from reliable sources that Duryodhana is trying to arrest you." Krishna laughed and said, "All the 33 crore devatas put together cannot arrest me. What this tiny tot can do, let us watch the drama today," he said. And then, in the course of the dialogue, at one time, a cage fell from the top and 1,000 people came. Duryodhana clapped his hands. And Krishna immediately displayed a Vishwarupa Darshanam. Huge from the earth to sky. It was looking like Vishnu-like form, 400 form. And from his two eyes came, Balram and Arjuna came. Pandavas were behind him. All the Lokapalas were on his shoulders. Like, Varuna, Indra, Yama, and all those people were there. And all the devatas were showering flowers. And the form grew from earth to sky. All the stars were falling in the oceans. And the ocean tides were rising very high. And all the devatas are offering prayers. And even Dhritarashtra asked, "Oh Sanjaya, tell me what is happening?" He said, Bhishma and Kripacharya, Dronacharya, all are offering obeisances to Krishna, showing a Vishwarupa Darshan. So Dhritarashtra loudly shouted to Krishna, "My Lord, please give me a vision to see your form." Krishna said, "Tadastu." Immediately he got a vision. Immediately his eyes came all right and he saw Krishna's form. He also offered obeisances. And this went on for a while. After that, Krishna again resumed his simple 200 form in the Sabha. And as you know, peace mission couldn't be successful because of the greed of Duryodhana, isn't it? He didn't even agree to give 5 villages to Pandavas. Then Krishna didn't eat any food there. Rather, he went to the home of Vidura. And Vidurani and Vidura, both are pure devotees of Krishna. As soon as she opened the door, seeing Krishna come there, her eyes were welling up with tears. She welcomed him in and she offered him a seat. And then in the course of inquiring about him and his well-being, she forgot what she was giving. She was opening the banana, throwing away the banana and giving him banana peel. And Krishna was also eating it. That's the most amazing thing. Generally, if you have a banana, you open the banana and give the banana peel to the cow you give. And you eat the banana. She did the reverse. She was giving banana peel and Krishna ate that also. When Vidura saw that, he came running and said, "Hey, Devi, what are you doing? You are feeding him banana peel." She forgot. So, if you give it love, even a small service as giving a banana peel, Krishna can accept. So, I told many pastimes today, but in conclusion, I am going to tell you something very important, and for which I spoke this topic. Many of us in this day and age, we find our lives extremely busy, and some or other things completely occupy our time morning to night. And when it comes to performing some service for Krishna, many times we wonder, let life come to a stage where I will have adequate time to render some service to Krishna. So when will that auspicious hour arrive in our life, when we think like that? So it's true that our life is busy, but every devotee should think, let me just distribute one book of Prabhupada in my office. Let me try to preach to one person in a week, whomever I may come across in my office or near my home or in the airport or wherever. Let me at least try try to do one small seva in the festival, in the temple. So, great things happen only when we make a small beginning. So one has to make a beginning somewhere. One small service we should. Actually, even before doing service comes desiring to do service. You will see, Janak Maharaj, he had many smaller kings under him. One day when Sitaram marriage was to happen, he called one of the smaller kings and said, "See, I heard that you have a very great tailor with you, who is very famous in those days for making very extraordinary dress. So, can you tell your tailor to make a very good dress for Sitaram and Lakshman? Nice dress for the marriage festival." So, it took several days for the tailor to make it. He made it, studded with diamonds and embroidery and all that, very costly dress and everything. So, when it was offered to Ram and Sita and Lakshman, they were wearing it. So, the tailor also came on the marriage day. So, he wanted to watch how they would look like in the dress. So, he was behind a pillar and watching. When he looked at them, the tailor cried and said, "Alas, alas, this is the Supreme Lord for whom I stitched the dress. But I took tailoring charges, I took. That was my foolishness. I should have done this service free of cost," he thought. And then he developed one aspiration at that time. I wish in future I can stitch a dress for the Lord without any remuneration or expectation in return. And that's what is called as seva. Seva means that which is done heartily without expecting anything in return. So this seed of aspiration entered his mind, due to which later when Krishna appeared in this world, when he was entering Mathura, the same tailor became a tailor in Mathura. So when Krishna took the clothes and went to the tailor's shop, he stitched a beautiful dress and with his own personal hands put on Balram's body, Krishna's body also. And that time he could render a free service. And how could he could render? Because he had aspired for that. So we all should begin with the aspiration, then it will eventually materialize. Similarly, in Satya Yuga, there was one. In Satya Yuga, there was one gentleman who used to go to a pond and pick 1,000 lotuses every day. It was a huge lake with a lot of lotuses. So he would take 1,000 lotuses, make a beautiful garland and offer to Shivalinga. So 3,000 years of Satya Yuga he offered, which means in Satya Yuga people would live for 1 lakh years, correct, no? So 3,000 years means 3% of his life, correct, no? Which means like for us it's 3 years. So 3,000 years he offered this kind of garland for Shivalinga every day. After that, Shiva appeared one day in front of him and asked, Vach, tell me, what can I do for you? You are so sincerely serving me. He said, I have heard that, your favorite Lord is Krishna for you. So if it pleases you, I also want to make similar garland for him and offer him. And Shiva said, definitely I will fulfill your desire in your future birth. So that's the same person who came in Mathura as a florist, Sudama. This is another Sudama. And he was waiting when Krishna came to his shop. He made 2 garlands, one for Balram, one for Krishna, and he offered. And they both became pleased. Krishna asked him, "Oh, florist Sudama, what can I do for you?" He said, "My dear Lord, so many living beings are suffering in this world. Let them all give up their sense gratification and become your devotees. Get purified and go back to your abode. I want to see them all happy." That's what he said. But Krishna told him, "You will get all sorts of happiness in this life, and when you leave the body, you will come back to me." The Lord told him. So, these are all examples of people who did some little service or those who aspire to do service and they could do it. So, as devotees, if we wait for a moment when we will get some cool time to read Bhagavatam or to do one service, that time is never going to come. It's like standing in front of an ocean and saying, "Let the waves stop, then I will take bath." Waves will never stop and we will never bathe and we will continue stinking. So if you really want to bathe, along with the waves only we have to bathe. Just like, for example, Gajendra, when he was caught by the crocodile, Lord Vishnu was coming in the skyway. So he looked up. Till then he didn't know the name of the Lord. He only said Adi Mulame, which means the source of everything. But now when he saw the Lord, immediately he remembered the name. Narayana, Akila Guru, Bhagavan Namaste, he said. So he was ashamed that Lord is coming to my home and I am not able to serve him in any way. He cried because the forest is his place. He is the king of the jungle. So he wanted to serve the Lord. But how would he serve? Then he found that in that lake there was a a lotus. He plucked the lotus and then he whirled the lotus. Sontasarasyurubalena grihita arto drishtva garutmati haryam kabupata chakram uchchipya sambhujakaram giramaha krichran narayana kila guru bhagavan namaste narayana akila guru bhagavan namaste. So, Ambujakaram, it is said, he took the lotus in his hand and offered it to Lord. And that really touched Lord's heart. Look at this personality. He is caught by a crocodile on his leg. He is in a very Sankatamaya situation. Still he is offering a flower to me. He was doing archana for the Lord even in difficulty. Similarly, any grihastha devotee living at home, no matter how difficult your life may be, waking up in the morning, lighting a lamp for the Lord, offering a flower to the Lord, bowing down to Him, praying to Him, chanting His holy names. It's not difficult if we are having a little will to do that. Where there is a will, no, the real slogan is, where there is a will, Krishna shows the way. As Krishna says, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Similarly, we say, do your best. And the next part is, some people say, and leave the rest. No, do your best, let Krishna do the rest. Because he is the one who does the rest. Similarly, where there is a will, then Krishna says, I show the way, he will show the way. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. See, Srila Prabhupada's Guru told him, if you ever get money, print books. One sentence he told him, and he started BBT, Bhaktan Book Trust. And for the first meeting, Prabhupada's Abhay Babu met him, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he said, you are young English-speaking boys. Why didn't you take this message to the people in the West? And then Prabhupada opened ISKCON for that. So here is an example of Prabhupada, how he took that one small instruction and made it so big. So following in his footsteps, we can try to do our little service by distributing a book of Prabhupada, doing a little preaching. This temple is a beautiful temple, Radha Madhava temple. Nilamada Prabhu is running this so nicely here with a team of very sincere congregation devotees. And I come here to America as a global duty officer. And if any of you want to see what outreach activities we are doing in 15 places in America, you can go to gdo.radheshyamdas.com. You can check in that. GDO stands for Global Duty Officer. Radheshyamdasdevotionalvideos.com, if you put, you will get it. You will see, your report also is there. Your report will be included in that, Baltimore also. So all the different temple reports of many years are there. We submit report to GBC every quarter. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. 4 times in a year we submit. All are there in that website. You will find it. So if any of you is inspired by those activities, you can also see in the same website about, if you see, youth vision for youth preaching. I have put there also. So go through that. If you are interested, tell Nilamada Prabhu that you are interested, Prabhuji, Mataji, both of you. And you can also be a youth preacher. We will include you in the list. When I came some years ago, Sundaranand Prabhu, I am very grateful to him because he told me that he and Nilamada Prabhu will make a plan to get all the book distributors and the preachers together. So they were about 12, 14 people, correct, no? Yes. In the top room we had a meeting. Immediately everything was set rolling. And after that, now in the last 3-4 years, now we have more than 30-40 students who are chanting 16 rounds. And there are 6 girls staying in one center. And there is another center on the other side. We have 4 boys staying. We call it as a BYS, Bhaktivedanta Swami Youth Services. We call it BYS. So we have 2 centers here. And they are all coming to temple and doing a lot of services. Some of the devotee girls are doing Bharatanatyam also, they were doing, right? And they do, boys are doing service in kitchen also here. Eventually, we want to see 50, 60 youths thronging the temple and doing a lot of services. And eventually, through some of them, we also want to reach out to the Americans who are local, those who are born in this country here, because there are many, many American-born people very sincere, and they are very eager to know what Bhagavad Gita teaches. In my travels also, I meet many of them. They are willing to sit down, listen, make notes, very, very sincere. But we need the temple to have adequate helping hands, correct, no? Nilamapu yesterday gave a beautiful talk to them, to the students yesterday. So we are hoping that many of you will come forward and you can do your little service in that direction, and that is going to help your temple in the long run in a big way. Thank you. Hare Krishna.